What was your view on that?
Oh, I think it's one of those games. I've just said on the TV there, fair play to Leicester. I mean, in closely fought games, and I thought that was a hard fought, closely fought game. Normally, what you see is one side force the kind of killer moment or killer moments in the game, and fair play to Leicester. I think they did that. You know, there's early in the first half, there's almost like a length of the field breakout, which also led to our yellow card. And they capitalise on that and score, and then later in the game we drop a ball, Leicester react far better than we do. You know, you can't run away from that fact, and that's the other killer moment in the game. Have we come here and done pretty well? Or bigger picture, Wasps at home, Leicester away in this block was always going to be a challenge for us in this block, and we've come away with 6 points. Effectively, that's okay. But I think we'll be a little disappointed, because I think quite a lot of the players feel there was a bit more out there for us potentially today. There probably was, but as I said, if you want to take those points, you have to make it happen. They won't just happen for you. And as I said, you know, Leicester forced a couple of killer moments. Were we good at times today? Yes. You know, we've had multiple breaks in that first half that we don't end up capitalising on. We had good pressure in the second half that we don't really capitalise on fully, and we've come away with a pretty hard fought bonus point at the end. You know, that's some good stuff in itself. You know, 20 points to 13 away at Welford Road. Most teams, most years would take that, and that's what I'm going to make sure we do. I'm not going to overreact to the fact that we lost a game. You know, it was an important game for Leicester. It was an important game for us. It was hard fought. We've come up a little bit short. The important thing for us is to leave today behind and move forward as quick as we can. You know, we'll look at it, and we'll do our usual kind of analysis and the individual stuff on what we can improve on. But actually the reality is we've got to park today pretty quickly and recharge our batteries physically and emotionally, because that's what we have to do after big games, and get ready to move into another big Premiership game, because we've got the Premiership League leaders coming to Sandy Park. So it's a little bit of a different challenge for us than this week.
How's Jack?
Yeah, Jack picked up a dead leg on Tuesday in training. We were hopeful earlier in the week that he would come through, but he failed a late fitness test. Still wasn't running freely. So obviously we're hopeful that obviously he'll have carried on improving over the weekend. We'll get him into some training next week, and hopefully he'll be available next weekend.
Rob, how did you see the yellow cards, or issue or non-issue? Do you think they were fair in a certain
I suppose the yellow card. I mean, the yellow card against Leicester, fair play. You couldn't get any more clear cut, really. So that one that goes without discussion. Jules, again, I said there's so many ways to look at it. It's guys committing early to try and clear in rucks, but you know, every one of us knows that if a connection gets made and there's not an arm been wrapped, then you're liable to that kind of sanction. So I'm not going to complain about the yellow card, because we all know that they're liable to happen. You know, Jules has got to be a little bit more accurate, a little bit more controlled. We've got to be less so. I don't know what the reasoning, because I didn't hear the reasoning behind the non-yellow card for the Phil Dolman incident where he ended up on his back.
He said Dolman hit the ground foot first. That's what he did.
Oh right, well, I don't know. So I wouldn't want to make a comment on that, because I didn't really hear the reasoning behind it.
And the attempted trip?
Again, I didn't hear the reasoning behind why it wasn't a card. So I can't. It's very hard for me to make a comment without actually hearing the reasoning that the TMO has gone through.
Your initial reaction, though, I mean, without hearing a reasoning, what was your initial reaction when you saw the two incidents?
My initial reaction was I thought Phil landed more on his back than anywhere. I mean, if you, I don't want to get drawn into something that I haven't seen, so I don't know. My initial reaction whether they were potentially yellow cards, but as I said, I'm not going to get drawn into something when I haven't seen all the accurate either discussions between the TMO or the TV footage.
And just the breakdown today, were you surprised at how hard?
I wasn't surprised at the breakdown at all. One of the first things we said in training was that we had to make an assumption that if you put together a 32-phase play in the first play you do against Wasps, what is the natural reaction to what's opposition going to be? And it was the first thing we talked about in training, that we had to make an assumption that Leicester would try and control the speed of the ball or the breakdown area in a different way. So it was something we mentioned right from the start. Did we deal with it as well as I would have liked? No, but you know, you can't change your whole game plan and the numbers you put to breakdowns purely based on someone's coming harder after the ball. You know, the good thing for us is that at times when we freed up the ball quickly, we actually had good numbers and we made breaks in attack. We didn't finish them all off. You know, there's always a fine balance between the numbers you throw into attacking and defensive breakdowns and what else you can do in the game. Leicester came through and won that battle today. On another day, it will be ours. Okay, great, thanks.